Hello, this is an introduction to Simetar. Simetar is an add-in to Excel. Once it's installed properly, it will appear on the Excel toolbar like this. By clicking it, you can get to the tool ribbon. The first icon on the Simetar ribbon is the simulation engine. It specifies the location of random variables that you would like to simulate and get statistics on. Here I have a random variable with a standard deviation of 10 and a mean of 3, and I'm going to simulate this normal distribution. I'd tell it that the label's on the left and above, click Add, and instantly it generates a sample of 500 random numbers that we can have. We come back here. There's an interesting feature in Simetar that I can show you what the value of the formula is in that cell. It's called V formula. This is quite useful for documenting from spreadsheet models. The expected value button, of course, converts this random number to its expected value of 10. We can calculate the summary statistics for any range of data. For example, we could calculate the summary statistics for this column of data here, tell it to place the output over here in that sheet, and say OK, and we instantly have the summary statistics for that variable. Because these are all formulas, we can drag that across and see summary statistics for everything. Now, we have multiple regression. There are 7 different ways of doing multiple regression in Simetar. You simply select the type of regression you'd like, indicate where the Y variable is and where the X variables are, select the output, and click OK. It generates results. A simple regression, X and Y regression, can be estimated and used in Simetar quite easily. We estimate the parameters. We use them in our simulation models. The residuals are, of course, the risk that's unexplained. The correlation matrix icon allows us to calculate standard correlation matrix and test the statistical significance of the parameters to see if they're statistically different from 0. It also calculates the covariance, the rank correlation matrix, and the Kendall's-Taw matrix. The stoplight icon allows us to rank risky alternatives by using target values and probabilities of being above a target and below a second target, and it's quite useful. We will have tutorials on how to use the different ranking methods. Stochastic dominance with respect to a function in first and second degree stochastic dominance can also be calculated. Stochastic efficiency is easily calculated using Simetar. We have more than 40 matrix operations that can be used to manipulate data, analyze data, and process it as in a simulation model. For example, you may use a correlation matrix and factor it using this method here, this tool here. If you would like to then multiply that matrix by a set of random numbers, we can multiply 2 matrices quite easily. It's all done with simple menus. Hypothesis testing is one thing that is frequently ignored in simulation models, and so we have made it specific into our package here. If we generate a set of random values, we might want to test those against the historical values to see if we reproduce the mean and standard deviation of the original data. If you're working with a multivariate distribution, you would highlight multiple columns of data here and their corresponding simulated data here, and click OK, and it would go out there and do 3 different global tests, statistical tests, to determine if you reproduce the vector of means and the covariance matrix. We can do time series forecasting in Simetar, and not only estimate your model for a different number of lags and differences, but it also forecasts your time series model for as many periods out as you feel comfortable forecasting. Additional forecasting methods are moving average, exponential smoothing, and seasonal indexing. We can estimate the parameters for an empirical probability distribution 4 different ways, and this can be for one variable or for a dozen or more variables if you would like to estimate them all at the same time. Using actual data, differences from the mean, percent deviations from the mean, and percent deviations from trend. We also have the capability to estimate the parameters for parametric distributions such as the beta, the gamma, the inverse, normal, etc. And you can estimate these parameters 2 different ways, with maximum likelihood estimator, method of moments estimators, and Simetar will also generate the equations to simulate these random variables once it has the parameters. Graphic capabilities in Simetar are extensive: line graph, fan graph, histogram, cumulative distribution, probability density function, probability plots, box plot, and scatter matrices can all be generated on the fly. The GRKS distribution is a unique distribution the authors of Simetar developed that gives a triangle distribution extended tails on it, so it can capture low risk, high impact outcomes such as a black swan. General settings for Simetar are easily changed in terms of you can change the random number seed, the number of iterations, so that it will always default to, say, 5,000 or 10,000 or 666 iterations if you'd like. The number of scenarios is easily changed here. If you would like to use Monte Carlo instead of Latin hypercube sampling, that can be done. And you can change off the Mersenne twister to a multiplicative random number generator. And help is available for Simetar functions. You can go by function alphabetically, or if you'd like to go back, you could look at all the stochastic functions. And these are all the different stochastic distributions that can be simulated in Simetar. Thank you.